I'm here in Nairobi, Kenya, and everyone needs to know what happened right here on Tuesday. To the average person walking past, that might look like some random orange dirt, but it's not. It's covering blood. And it's also the reason I posted this video only after I left the country. You see, just a few days ago at a protest against police brutality, 2 officers shot a 22-year-old man in the head at point-blank range. Crazy part is that young man named Boniface Kariuki wasn't even protesting. He was simply a street vendor selling masks when 2 officers with riot gear and shotguns approached him, punched him, and then completely unprovoked, they then left him lying here, right on this spot, while witnesses rushed to his aid. Little did the officers know, however, not only did someone record the entire thing, but Boniface has miraculously survived. The bullet went through his head right above his ear. But even if he does make it out of intensive care, a CT scan has showed that he has suffered severe brain damage, so his life will never be the same again. Now, here's where things get really dark. Boniface was shot at a protest where people were demanding justice for a teacher who was killed in police custody. Officers arrested a 31-year-old man named Albert Ojwang earlier this month, accusing him of, you ready? Insulting a police boss on social media. But instead of being released, just 2 days later, his wife and parents were informed that Albert was dead. Police initially claimed that it was saying that the victim hit his head on the wall multiple times until he passed away. But an autopsy later exposed the horrific truth. He was brutally beaten to death. And this goes way beyond police brutality. Kenyans are increasingly protesting the entire system in which corruption like this is allowed to take place. So, in just a couple of days' time, on the 25th of June, what's being described as the mother of all protests is being organized. Yesterday, hundreds of thousands of people nationwide poured onto the streets of Kenya to protest against the Ruto government. But this was no normal protest. In preparation, police sealed off government buildings with barbed wire, blocked off access roads to prevent them from being overrun, and the government ordered the ban of all television and radio stations from covering the demonstrations. They even reportedly started blocking apps like Telegram. And because this is a largely Gen Z-led movement, the things we saw yesterday were wild. One guy wrote a sign reading, "Dear Iran, just 1 missile in our state house, please." Another guy brought his dog so that he could protest too. They used slingshots, and there's even a picture going viral of a girl using a pole vault to go over the barbed wire. And what makes this protest so unique is that it was largely organized on social media using hashtags, and it had no backing amongst the main parties or trade unions. So here's the craziest part. The day before the protest, a coalition of foreign embassies issued a joint statement saying that they are concerned about the government's use of hired goons who are paid to infiltrate and disrupt peaceful protests so that the police have a justification to use force and shut things down. And yesterday, not only did the police use tear gas, water cannons, and batons, but also live ammunition. Amnesty Kenya reports that 16 people were killed, 400 injured, and 8 suffered gunshot wounds. Even CNN news reporters were on the scene wearing bulletproof vests and helmets, saying,
"That's why we wear this. We wear the flak jacket, because we have seen Kenyan security forces shooting unarmed peaceful protesters."
And the people part of this Gen Z-led movement are saying these aren't just protests, it's a revolution.
CERN just powered up its biggest machine again.